Hey, y'all. My name's Mike Sheffield. I'm going to play you a song I wrote in this truck called Hammer Down Again. I hope you like it. I've been a line hauler and a high baller, just chasing that old dollar. I've been a door swanger and a bell ringer since I came out of the holler. Up and down and round, Lord, I don't know where to begin. It just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. Yeah, hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. Like a live lane freight train, shifting in the high range, keeping it in the wind. I might slow it down one day, but I don't know when. It just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again.
Thanks for that fine introduction from long hauler Mike Sheffield of Kentucky Coal Country and one of the 3 songwriters in this year's Overdrive Radio Trucker Talent Search. I'm Todd Dills, your host today for this special edition of the Overdrive Radio podcast, where we're going to preview the big finale set for September 16th at 5 p.m. Eastern and streaming from overdriveonline.com. You can find out just how to listen via the post that houses this podcast for September 3rd, 2021, via overdriveonline.com/overdrive-radio. We're going to hear from Sheffield, of course, today, and we're also going to hear from Michigan-based Grassmid driver Rich Scripps and Dayton, Ohio-based Guy Archer, and run through audio from all 3 of these men's entries into the contest. For the finale, all will be playing different tunes, about which you'll also hear more from them in conversation today with the great Eric Harley, host of Red Eye Radio, our partners in the program. It's now in its 8th year. Before I hand it off to Harley for his conversation, starting with Mike Sheffield, then rolling on to Rich Scripps and Guy Archer, though, here's a brief message from Overdrive Radio's sponsors.
First Guard provides commercial truck insurance to leased owner-operators done right, as we've done for more than 80 years. We provide physical damage and non-trucking. Many companies make you pay up to 6 months of insurance premiums up front, but not First Guard. We bill monthly, so you get quality insurance without needing to pay a lot of cash up front. Go to firstguard.com. That's 1stguard.com. First Guard. We speak trucker. Let's talk.
Synchrony Car Care is a robust program built for your business and your customers. We offer drivers a way to pay for the services and parts they need today, but there's so much more to Synchrony Car Care. We treat your customers as an extension of your brand, and we don't take it lightly. We're committed to a simple application and fair terms. Let us help drive traffic and drive success for your business.
Car Care.
Overdrive and Red Eye Radio's Trucker Talent Search is back for the 8th year. 3 finalists, that's what we're down to now. And they've been asked to record a new song, which will be part of the virtual finals for the contest. The first place winner will receive a full day in a professional recording studio, complete with mixing and producing and backing provided by professional studio musicians. And one of the 3 finalists joins us right now, Mike Sheffield. Mike, how are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you, Eric? Good morning.
I'm doing great. Good morning to you, sir. Let me start where you started. When did you start singing?
I guess the first time I really started singing was in school or church. I was in the school choir in church, and my dad traded an old shotgun for a guitar when I was about 14, and I think I wrote my first song when I was about 16.
Wow. And you've been driving for how long?
31 years, almost. 30. A little over 30 years.
Wow, a little over 30 years. So you started when you were 9.
Yeah.
All right.
It feels like it, yeah.
Yeah, right. So you drive refrigerated freight for VV Logistics. How often do you get to sing? Now, I know every trucker sings in their cab, but I mean in terms of like sitting down, picking up the guitar, and playing a tune, how often is that?
Well, not as often as I'd like. I got a guitar in the truck with me, and sometimes when I have some time, I'll get down and play and work on a song that I've been working on. I got another album coming out later this year.
Oh, wow.
And I've been trying to work on it. I had one released last year, too, and it was a big success, so I'm doing it again. But I'll do a little Facebook Live maybe. Well, earlier I was doing it once a month, but I guess it's been a couple of months since I started working sincerely on this new album. I haven't had much time, but, I get on Facebook and go live about once a month, I guess.
Okay. Well, there have been over the years, as we mentioned, to start out, we're in our 8th year here. And as we look forward to the finals, I think back, Mike, on all the truckers that have entered the contest, some very talented truckers. And I think about, I guess I wonder if you folks ever, call each other, run into each other on the road. Do you know some of the other drivers that are participants either from the past or this year?
I've talked to several of them, well, a few of them. Mandy Jo, love her to death. She's a sweetheart. Mm-hmm. Mandy Jo from Idaho. And
that would be Mandy Jo Brown, current car hauler and past winner of the Trucker Talent Search just a few years back now with her excellent and quite memorable Heartbeat original song. It was composed with the help of the online trucking community after Brown asked professionals all around the nation to name their favorite stretch of road to haul. Look her up at overdriveonline.com for more. The next name Sheffield brings up.
I've talked to Taylor Barker.
He was our 2019 winner.
Yeah. He helped me out. He gave me some advice. And
right.
Of course, Bill Weaver. But I guess the biggest help I've had is Long Haul Paul. The guy's just been a fountain of knowledge and experience for me to draw from. Yeah, he's always there if I have a question about, a song or a studio or anything really.
Long Haul Paul Marhofer, many of you will know for his long-running contributions to our Overdrive Extra blog and his hosting of the excellent Over the Road trucking podcast series in partnership with PRX and Radiotopia. Marhofer actually wrote a great piece in his Faces of the Road series of interviews about Mike Sheffield quite some time back, long before he was fully on the radar of the Trucker Talent Search judges. You search Mike Sheffield and Faces of the Road together at overdriveonline.com to find it.
You were young, about 16, when you wrote your first song. How is it that songs happen for you? Do you take the time, do you carve the time out to write, or does it just occur to you while you're driving? How does it happen?
All different kinds of ways. Sometimes it's, sometimes you just get a melody and you build words around it. And sometimes you think, wow, there's something, a song needs to be wrote about that. So then you start writing around an idea, or sometimes just certain phonetics sound good. Everybody likes a good sing along. So,
sure.
I just come across something like, wow, that sounds really good together. So I just kind of put it to a melody and.
Yeah.
So different. I don't have really one set way. Just
if they said to you, "All right, Mike, we're going to while we're loading your truck, we're going to give you 3 songs to listen to. You only get to pick 3 songs, or one artist greatest hits. What would it be? What would you choose to listen to?
Hank Williams Jr. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hank's early career in the late 70s and early 80s. That's when I found him. I was on a trip with my dad, and Dad was playing him, and it connected with me. And Hank's done a lot of stuff since then. You can follow the progression of his life through each of his divorces and all that stuff through his albums. But that time period, the late 70s and early 80s, that was his, his really bluesy sound. And
right, yeah.
It wasn't long after he fell off Ajax Mountain and had that terrible accident. But, in that area, that's my favorite right there.
If there's something you haven't done in music, but you want to get done, I guess something in your bucket list, what would that be?
I want to hear one of my songs on the radio.
Well, how many do you have that you've written? Do you keep count?
Have I written? Oh, yeah. Lord, I've got dozens and dozens in my catalog, in my BMI catalog. I've seen my last CD, the one that came out last year, Hammer Down Again. It had 11 on it, and one of those was covered by an artist named Zach Burnett, a talented young man who's he's making waves.
Yeah,
he's a real talent.
Right,
but he covered the song. He covered the title track, Hammer Down Again, but still haven't heard it on the radio. But
Well,
I probably got, say, close to 50 in my catalog.
All right. How many of you personally recorded, do you know?
Recorded 11 of them, and one of them twice.
Okay. What's that process for you like in the studio? I mean, what is it? Is there something, we hear with athletes, on game day, they've got to have this, they got to have that, or they have a ritual or something. Is there anything where, when in terms of prepping to go into the studio to record, is there something special you have to have?
No, I guess advice from long haul. My first experience was a scary ordeal. Everything was first take. We didn't go over and redo any vocals. So if I sang off key, I just came out off key. And I talked to Paul, and he helped me find a studio that would work with me and, help make it better. And he was a big help. So I'm looking forward to that. But my first 2 times in the studio, I really didn't know what was going on. I'm not a musician. I'm a truck driver. So I walked in there and they're using all these terms, and I'm like, okay, once more with feeling. Say that one more time.
Right.
Trucker speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But, you don't know what you're doing, but it's coming around now, and I think this album's going to be a lot better because my songwriting I've honed it some, and my songs are more cohesive, I guess, and the musician, I hope it's better, but that's just it. As long as I just want to feel comfortable with the studio I'm working with. Sure.
How much home time do you get?
I don't go home much. I stay out 5 or 6 weeks, and then I go home for a week.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited because today's the day.
Oh, you're going home today?
Yeah, as soon as I get empty here, I'm in Louisville.
Well,
4-hour ride down to the mountains and stay at home for a week.
Good for you. What do you do on your downtime?
I'm going to work on this album. I'm going to work on songs. After I write a song, sometimes it takes several months. Sometimes it takes a year before a song, before I'm finished, before I'm comfortable with it. I rewrite and I rewrite and I polish and tweak it. And, that's what I'm going to do this week. I'm just going to sit down in front with a guitar and a cup of coffee and get to work.
Here he is again, everybody. Mike Sheffield with Hammer Down Again.
I've been a line hauler and a high baller, just chasing that old dollar. I've been a door swinger and a bell ringer since I came out of the holler. Up and down and around and round, Lord, I don't know where to begin. It just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. Yeah, hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. Like a live lane freight train, shifting in the high range, keeping it in the wind. I might slow it down one day, but I don't know when. It just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. I haul grain on through the plains, it's all from a man's feet. Bed from old Milwaukee and Jack from Tennessee. Coal off of the mountain, steel from Birmingham. I haul coast to coast, whatever pays the most, but I don't give a damn. Yeah, hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. Like a live lane freight train, shifting in the high range, keeping it in the wind. I might slow it down one day, but I don't know when. It just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. I lay the hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. Hammer down, y'all. Hope you like it.
Malakaliki Maka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we sing to you from the land where palm trees
Rich
sway.
Scripps. Rich, welcome. How are you, sir?
Hey, thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right. I've been told you're from Spring Lake, Michigan. Where's Spring Lake?
Spring Lake, that's in western Michigan. It's probably the biggest city near it is Grand Rapids.
Okay. All right.
And the city is up against Lake Michigan there. It's a pretty part of the state.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
You know, yeah. I love Michigan. I've been up there several times and just love Michigan. So you're very fortunate in that regard. How long have you been driving a truck?
Probably overall about 14 years.
All right. Yeah. And you drive for Boar's, you haul mostly Boar's Head products?
Yeah, the company I work for is Grassmid, and they're out of Zeeland, which is about a half hour south. But we do most of our business probably with Boar's Head.
When it comes to music, where did that start in your life? How old were you?
Oh, gosh. I grew up with music. I have 3 older brothers, and they're all accomplished musicians.
Wow.
And, book smart and college smart, and I've just kind of been self-taught. Yeah. And I guess I've grown up with it, so yeah.
All right, so you actually started playing drums, right?
That's how I got started. That is correct. In high school, I got a set of drums, and I got to where I was pretty good at it. And did some professional gigs for a little while. Okay. And then morphed over onto the musical side.
Yeah, and so you then moved on to keyboards?
That is correct. Well, you've done some homework. I don't even remember telling everybody.
Yes, we've got lots of investigative behind-the-scenes folks that help us find out about the finalists.
I'd like to know more about me.
You can find more about all 3 of the Trucker Talent Search finalists in our stories at overdriveonline.com/trucker-talent-search.
I played for years and years and always wanted to write and never could find it. And then I went through a terrible time about 20 years ago. Divorce, my mom died. I lost my career and I was alone. I had nothing to do. And music was one of the things that I latched on to, fortunately. I say fortunately because, there's drugs and alcohol and lots of other things a person can turn to at a time like that. But I was in good company, and all of a sudden, songs just started coming out of me. Yeah.
Do you find that the songs just come to you, or do you set some time aside and say, okay, I'm gonna put something together? Do you make notes? I heard I think it was David Lee Roth one time that said over the years his lyrics basically he would think of something. He might be at a diner and then all of a sudden he would think of something that sounded cool. He'd write it down as a line and then he put it in his pocket and saved it for later. Is that part of the writing for you, or does a song come to you more in its entirety? How does that work for you?
Yeah, it began by just coming to me. And one song in particular I woke up in the morning and the song was in my head. I went over to a little electric piano and captured it. But, most of my songs at the beginning were not that good. They were just a way to express, my despair and sorrow. But I started taking it kind of seriously. And, what you're referring to there, they call that a muse, where all of a sudden something comes in your head and you I got to write that down, know. And,
right.
Yeah, so I started to take it seriously because I started to write a couple of good songs there. And then, 10 or 15 years ago, it just kind of dried up, and I haven't written anything in quite a while.
Now, in terms of the Trucker Talent Search, where did you first hear about it?
Well, my wife is a huge fan of Red Eye Radio.
Oh, and, wow. Well...
Yeah. I may owe you guys a debt of gratitude. You might have changed my life. And,
wow. Okay.
We've only been married not quite 2 years yet. We dated for a while, of course. But when we first met, she had listened to you guys for years.
Yeah. Okay.
And when she found out I was a trucker, I think she was like, "Hey." So I owe you on this one.
Wow. That's terrific. Well, tell her. Thank you so much for listening. And
I have. Believe me, I have.
And of course, going back to 1969, we've been a constant companion for truck drivers out there on the road in the middle of the night, and we do have a lot of folks that aren't part of the trucking industry that also listen. So it's kind of cool to watch those two worlds come together.
Sure.
And so now, you decide to enter the Trucker Talent Search. When did you learn that you were one of the 3 finalists?
Oh, gosh. I'm not that good with dates. And of course, she found out before I did, I think. No, it came to me in an email. Email.
All right.
And I had to be part of the email said, don't tell anybody, don't be spreading it on social media. And that
right.
sort of
Yeah.
thing. So
wow.
It was kept. Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. I bet that was kind of hard to keep to yourself, right?
Oh, it's extremely exciting. And I think my wife is even more excited.
I love it. I love it. And tell us about the song. In fact, each of the finalists, again, were asked to record a song and enter it. And what did you choose?
We know that Christmas will be green and bright, sun to shine by day. And
well, I chose a song called Oh Yes, Oh No. And it's a song, I suppose, well, it's always up to the interpretation of the listener. But this is kind of like when a person is falling in love and it's giving yourself permission to, go a step further.
Yeah.
And in this case, maybe a couple of big steps. And it can be interpreted a number of ways. The most common is it's got a kind of a physical romance attached to it. And it can be embarrassing. I don't perform it very often for that reason. I've played it a time or two at a bar. Yeah. And the whole place just got real quiet. And the waitresses stopped what they were doing. And I've performed it at a singer-songwriting workshop one time, and it kind of brought the roof down. And
wow.
So yeah, this is it's a hard one to it's a hard one to share.
You'll hear that one September 16th, folks, in the final competition.
Years I've taken a guitar along, but it's just clumsy. It bangs into everything. Yeah. And there's a part of you asked about the inspiration for songwriting. That's kind of a left brain, right brain thing. And when you're busy working, it's hard to explore that creative side of things because you've got a job to do. Even when I have downtime, and so that doesn't come easy. However, I also enjoy woodworking, and I've learned to make these cigar box guitars. If you or your viewers haven't seen them, look it up there are some fantastic inventions.
Wow.
And so that's actually helped me get back into playing again because they're pretty small and portable and quite simple to learn.
Wow.
And they're just a lot of fun. So yeah, I think the music is beginning to come back to me a little bit.
Yeah. And that's really cool that you learned how to make an instrument.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Man.
And you really don't know until it's all done if it's going to sound halfway decent.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How great that. How great.
Malakaliki Maka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we sing to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Malakaliki Maka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas.
Walking along beneath the lights of that miracle mile, me and Mary making our way into the night. Can hear the cries from the carnival rides, the pinball bills and the ski bowl slides, watching that summer sun fall out of sight. So warm wind coming in off of the ocean, making its way past the hotel walls into the streets. Mary's carrying both of her shoes in her hand, says she likes to feel.
One of the three finalists joins us right now. His name is Guy Archer. Guy, welcome. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing great. How long have you been driving truck?
28 years.
Wow, 28 years. Wow, that's...
Yeah, I started in end of 92, I guess, is when I started.
All right. And how long have you been involved in music?
I had the inkling for it at about 5 or 6 years old, I guess,
Right, yeah.
I would tap around on the piano.
Okay.
had early lessons, but I didn't understand it back then. And then I had lessons at about 12 or 13 on the piano for about a year. But I just play by ear is how I'm doing it. So
Sure. Yeah, I know that feeling. I started playing guitar about the age of 10, and then later in school started playing the drums. And while I tried to kind of, catch on to the formal training in school, I was a better musician if I were playing by ear, and I'm not sure why that is. Did you find that to be the case when you were young?
Absolutely. I would go home with lessons, and I would head home or head back into lessons on the next week, and I wouldn't have the lesson done, but I'd be doing a song that was on the radio that I liked.
Yeah, right.
And he would kind of get upset with me, you need to do this. It's like, well, I want to do this. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Along the way, I have had plenty of friends show me this and that. My Uncle Charles, I remember sitting down with me when I was very young and showing me the first 3 chords and all these things that have happened in my life. And then I just had to take it from there. I guess it was part of exploring, I guess, for me, is that in a lesson, you're getting the basics, you're learning how to drive. Now I want to go find my own road. Did you expand on that when you were young? Did you take that into your teen years and play music on a regular basis?
I would play it like high school parties, like on the piano, all the songs I knew.
Right.
So if you were around me, then you would hear probably the same 5 songs every Friday night. Right. Was all I basically knew back then.
Yeah.
But, So I started to write my own stuff I kind of started to write stuff back then that was very basic, But as I got older, all that started to expand, and I'm able to hear a song now, and it doesn't take me very long to figure it out.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, kind
it
of
isn't exact, but it's close.
Sure. Yeah, I kind of I guess I call that the benefit of growing older, the experience, right? Yeah,
yeah.
And so tell us about your truck driving career. Where did that start?
I started at the end of '92, like I said. I went to truck driving school in Arkansas. I was with J.B. Hunt.
Yeah.
I drove for them for about a year and 2 weeks, and then I moved on to TMC, so headed over there to do flatbed.
Okay.
So about 95, I guess, I kind of started to work more as a local driver, and then in '06, I came over to Airgas.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I've been here for about 15 years now.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. That sounds like they're treating you right.
Yes. A job pays well, and I'm home every night,
Wow. So, where did you hear about the trucker talent search? Where did you first hear about it?
I heard the ad on the radio. I listened to WLW at night.
Yeah.
And I've been writing songs and that sort of thing, and I've been wanting to get back down to Nashville and stuff in order to have my music heard. I don't necessarily want to be the star on stage. I don't think I have those skills. Maybe I do, but I don't think I do. And I just want to write music down there,
Yeah.
But I'm up in Dayton, Ohio, and we had the COVID stuff and all this going on, and I was in the dumps one night like, this isn't going to happen, right? It just isn't going to happen. So I was at a customer. I hopped back in the truck, and I had you guys on, and I'm heading down the road, and I hear this ad, right? And I'd never heard of it before. Like, I guess this is the 8th year for it. I'd never heard of the Truckers Talent Search. Right.
Right.
It was almost like it was, he offered out to me to give me some hope. Like, hey, you need to do this.
Right. Right.
I don't know where it's going to lead,
Wow.
So, on the next day, I was talking to my wife. I said, there's a talent search, So we talked about it for a minute, and we were both like, yeah, let's do this, So.
Yeah. I love that story. And so now you've learned that you are one of the 3 finalists. What was it like to learn that?
I'm just floored, actually. This is kind of a little bit of a story, too. On the day that I entered the contest, right, when I uploaded the first video, I actually told myself, if I make it to the top 3, I'm not going to write a trucker song. I don't want to do that. I don't know why I had that feeling. It was just,
Yeah.
But on the next day, it actually started to come out of me. The final song that I'll be judged on,
Yeah.
I wrote, and it's all about the life of a truck driver and how you have a heavy load on your truck and on you,
Yeah. Right.
in your personal life. So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. This is terrific. I love this contest for this reason, because we don't often, I think, we go without talking to drivers in an intimate way for far too long. I try and do as much of it as I can based on what we do here on the show, but and I have for years, and I've made so many great friends over the years. But through this contest, we've met drivers who are extremely talented, but also we get the benefit of them most often expressing themselves through this contest, and learning their music and learning more about their music and beyond the song that they submit. And, there's, so they have a YouTube channel or they have something else going on. And we get to learn more about these drivers and their lives and their expression of their art. And it's always cool to do that.
Hey, it's a great opportunity for the people out there that don't have a whole lot of time at home and that sort of thing.
Right.
And as you know, to do music and stuff, it actually takes a lot of time up in order to practice your songs and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got to stay on it or you start to lose it some.
Right.
And having this opportunity for individuals who don't usually have that kind of an opportunity with the contest, even just to be heard as the entrant at the very start of it, it's just neat to experience having people head to your YouTube page to watch a video. I've got like 288 views now or something like that. I mean,
awesome.
I would usually have 2, and it's more than likely me watching it twice.
Morning, I believe in making my way back to Cleveland. So tonight I hope that I will do just fine. I don't see what could ever be.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have a fan base, of course, because I'm not out there doing it. So
right. Yeah. So do you have your own channel, or how do they find you on YouTube for those that haven't done that yet?
If you just type my name in, it should pop up.
All right. Cool. Cool.
And also there's from like 05 or 06, I think, I did a instrumental album, you could say, in my basement. It was uploaded through the company that I sent the recordings into YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's up there for free to listen to too.
Wow.
And it's under my name. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is so great. This is what I love about Trucker Talent Search, and hats off to my friends over at Overdrive, and they've done all of the heavy lifting for us at Red Eye, and we love being a part of it, and I just want to thank them for allowing us to do this each year and allowing us to talk to the 3 finalists. And congratulations on being a finalist, Guy, and best of luck. It's coming up, and it's just going to be amazing to watch this thing play out. But I know that you're not done one way or the other. I know that you're not done, my friend. So keep that music going.
I appreciate it.
Keep that music going.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I'd like to wish the other 2 guys, I hope they win. I hope they don't, of course. But
right. Yeah. I know what you're saying. I
wish them the best of luck.
Sure.
On this too. So.
Absolutely. I'm sure they would share that sentiment as well. So.
Big thanks to you, Eric Harley, Guy Archer, Rich Scripps, Mike Sheffield. For listeners, find out how you can watch the Overdrive Red Eye Radio Trucker Talent Search finale at overdriveonline.com/trucker-talent-search. That's September 16th, 5 p.m. Eastern, live online. We'll let Guy take us out with a little more from this initial entry into the contest. His beautiful cover of Kenny Chesney's Anything But Mine. Overdrive Radio is a production of Overdrive, voice of the American trucker. It's edited and produced by me, Todd Dills, with additional support from Overdrive Extra contributing writer Paul Marhofer, Overdrive news editor Matt Cole, social media coordinator Holly Young, and executive editor Alex Lockey. We'll see you the 16th.